Hi. So I've had something on my mind for quite a while now, and it's something I think might be able to help a lot of people. Something that I was definitely stuck on a little bit when it came to attracting and the laws and stuff. So I'm gonna talk a little bit about coincidence and about like instant manifestation versus gradual, and why when you first start you don't instantly see the things that you want to happen. Um, so a lot of questions people ask when they start is like, they're like, I started doing the law of attraction and I'm doing all the work, but I still have bad things come up in my life, and they wonder why, and they're confused. And life works kind of like a timeline. So what we see now is a representation of what our feelings were, or our vibration was in the past. And so right now is not based off what you're feeling right now. It's not what you're seeing. It's not what you're receiving at this moment. You have to get to that point in the future. Nobody really knows when that is. One day will come, I'm sure, where people will realize or be able to figure out how long it takes to receive your manifestation, but with different sizes and different 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 dreams and images and stuff like that. It all takes different time. Each thing has a different gestational period. But on the timeline, so if you were thinking something bad in the past, or you weren't really noticing your vibrations and you weren't monitoring them, and you were just kind of going with the flow and letting your physical world generate or control your feelings, then right now you're receiving those bad vibrations. So now if you're starting to notice and you're starting to pay attention, but you're still receiving bad things in your life, it's because your reality is still catching up with your bad or lower vibrations and feelings. And so just keep sticking with it, and good things will happen in the future, I promise. And then instant and gradual manifestation. The instant manifestation that you get is the feeling, which is the whole reason why you want the manifestation in the first place, is it not? The gradual, the one that comes later, is the actual physical manifestation, but that comes because of the feeling that you get instantly when you imagine something or visualize something. It's because of that instant gratification of the feeling, which will then attract to you the physical, which really is just saying good job for feeling the way you feel right now. And so yeah, people get frustrated when they don't receive it right away because they want it right now. But as you start to actually implement these laws, you do get that instant manifestation, and that instant manifestation is the feeling, which is the most important part, and that's the whole reason you want the manifestation in the first place, if that makes sense. And so, hold on one sec, I have some notes on what I want to talk about on my phone. I'm just looking at them to see what to talk about next. Oh, okay, so a lot of different mentors, they'll tell you different things, and it gets kind of confusing. It's the same thing, but it's different. They tell you that when you think about, like, if you want to manifest something, you need to think about it all the time. Whenever you find a moment in your spare time, you need to think about that thing, and you should try to catch the times when you're not thinking about that thing that you want. And really, I'm going to go kind of as far as to say the thought, it does matter, but it really doesn't. It's not the thing that's important. The thought creates the feeling. The thought does not do the attracting. The feeling creates the attraction. So you could be visualizing something for so long you visualize the same thing over and over and over again, and after a certain amount of time, it doesn't feel good anymore. There's no longer that excitement with it. You start to notice that you don't have it more and more. But if you're supposed to visualize that one thing until you get it, but when you think about it you don't feel good, and if you have to think about that one thing but you're not feeling good, it's kind of negating itself, then why would somebody tell you you need to pay attention to that, or just keep thinking that one thought over and over and over again? But what they're really saying is they're telling you to think that thought because it's creating the feeling, that strong feeling. The thought is important because the thought that you're having, you will attract that thought to you, because there's different kinds of each feeling. So there's a bunch of different kinds of happiness. There's the happiness of getting the new car, or getting the new job, or self-realization and stuff like that. Those are all different kinds of happiness. So what you're visualizing creates a certain kind of excitement that you're getting, and that's what you need right there. And so what I like to do when I start to get sick of a manifestation, or a visualization, not a manifestation, when I start to get sick, or it's not working anymore, it's not creating that excitement, what I do is I don't jump to something completely new. I don't abandon that vision, because people will tell you to keep planting new seeds. What I wouldn't say imagine my house, and then when that's done completely forget about my house, and then it's okay, now I'm in this house and I'm doing something completely different that's not even related. What I think they mean by, or what I do when I'm planting new seeds and I get sick of certain visualization, I'll just add on to it, say, now that I have this house and I have this job and I get to do what I want. This is my examples of things that I do. I don't abandon those. I add onto it. I expand it so that I keep that same specific feeling with the thought, but it's something new. So I really like martial arts, so it's, now that I make all this money and I don't have to work, I can hire my own martial arts instructor to come train me personally, and I have my own gym at my house, and that's what I'll visualize then. It's in direct correlation with my vision. It's not something completely different. However, one of my mentors I like to listen to, Ben Massaro, I'll steal what he says. He says, if you're thinking about something that used to make you excited and it makes you feel, now you're kind of feeling bad about it, or you just feel like you're waiting for it, like you notice that you don't have it, he says it's more productive if you think of a frog bouncing around, and think of that frog hopping around makes you really, really excited. It's more productive in getting your goals to think about that frog bouncing around than to think about the thing that you want but feel somewhat negative about it. And I really liked that when he said that. And then, so if that makes sense to you guys. Yeah, what I wrote down right here, it says, the thought you have is important, but it does not do the attraction. It is the feeling that you get that attracts. It is the thought that fine-tunes the feeling. So that's what we're really doing with the thoughts, is we're fine-tuning our feelings that we have. And then what I want to talk about coincidences. A lot of people will say, well, I'm visualizing this one thing, I'm not getting that. And then good things will be happening, but they won't notice them because they'll think they're just coincidence. This is just a coincidence. That one thing that I noticed was I've been visualizing really, really intensely every single day I was doing it for about a month, and I didn't have that one really, really big manifestation I was planning on, but I was getting lots of other really, really good things happening in my life. Me and my family were just getting random money from places, and we were able to get a new washer and dryer, and everything was just kind of conspiring to create all this goodness in our life, and life was really, really exciting. Our health was all really good, and I don't remember everything that was going on at the time, but a lot of really good things were happening, and it got me kind of thinking. It's all these good things are happening, but it's not what I am visualizing. Are these just coincidences? And so I did some pondering, and I realized that because I'm vibrating at such a high level, it's vibrating everything to me that is in concurrence, or and congruent with that vibration. So it's bringing me all the good. So nothing is coincidence. And the same thing if you're not noticing your vibration, or you're mad and you're sending out a very low vibration, you might not be imagining that car crash that you're going to get in, but because that car crash, say you're going to get in a car crash, because you weren't imagining that, you just think it's a coincidence, but really it was congruent with your low vibration you were having, so you brought that upon yourself with that low vibration. So if you're seeing bad things coming into your life and you're wondering where they're coming from, take a look at your vibration. You might not be attracting those exact things that are happening, but it's a representation of what your vibration is. If you have a lot of really good things happening, but your one big vision isn't there, but all these good things are happening and you're just getting kind of discouraged, just pay attention to the good things that are happening and notice that your vibration is high and all these good things are happening, and your big manifestation will come. There is a gestational period, and the bigger the manifestation, I like to think the longer the gestational period is, and the harder you work and the more you visualize and the more you fine tune that vision, the faster it's going to come. You can kind of control the speed of the gestational period. And I'm going to close with one thing is, you can have all the knowledge in the world and still be homeless and be in poverty. It's the application of the knowledge you learn. So as you continue to learn these laws and expand on these laws, make sure you're applying them. Applying them is the most important thing, and that's where a lot of people, I think, get messed up. I know that's where I was stuck for a long time. So yeah, I hope this helps some people. It's just some stuff that was on my mind, and I thought I might be able to help some people out. So alright, thanks, see ya.